I've had the truck since 2010. It was actually a high school graduation present from my father, so you know it's pretty exciting. Has a lot of sentimental value. We did a Holly 390 vacuum secondary, 4-barrel carburetor on it with the Offenhauser downdraft intake. We got a 510 header and cut the downpipe and cocked it like 3 degrees to get it to fit. Ran a 280 duration cam, which I think might be my favorite thing I put in the truck because it makes it lobe really hard. We heat wrapped the header. It's got electronic ignition. So that's really about it for the engine. We volunteer here, my whole family does. My favorite thing about this is the cars and the people. You can just walk up to anyone and you know they'll be down to earth. Even John Morton, you can walk up to him, he's walking around signing cars right now. He used to race them. And they're just such cool people, you know. It's unlike any other experience with car clubs or car shows. But I think this is the only 3-day event that you can bring a tent and stay here the whole weekend, you know. Makes it worth your while.
We drove in from Orchards, almost Canby area. I don't know, about a half hour, 45-minute drive. Nice, cool, chilly ride down the freeway. We started off, it was a 79 Datsun King Cab pickup that had been totaled. A buddy of mine picked it up at an auction and offered it to me at a really reasonable price. I've always had Datsun pickups ever since high school, so I was like, oh, you know, why not? Got a new bed for it and was going to fix it up. And had a buddy of mine call me up one day and he offered me the 27 Model T body and bed. We were at the Blue Lake Park show a couple years ago and my wife had found another pickup for sale that had the dually rear end for it and stripped everything down, sold it to a bunch of people on Datsun forums and stuff and just help people out real cheap, you know. It was just, you know, Datsun parts are getting harder to come by, so it was like, you know, help people out where we could, but yet still go have some fun. So I had a buddy of mine at a machine shop milled ahead 40,000s and bumped up the compression a bit. Did a 32, 36 Weber on it. All of the steel lines, the clutch master cylinder, the brake master cylinder, the clutch pedal assembly, the whole pedal assembly underneath, the column box, wiring harness gauges, everything's all Datsun. I get 25 to 30 miles per gallon. And it's reliable, it's fun. It's not a carbon copy stamp of what everybody does with a rat rod or a street rod or something like that. So it was like, for me, it was, you know, I wanted to have fun with it. Like I said, it's a great conversation piece. People look at it and they try to figure out some of the stuff and, you know, other guys are like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that is. And, you know, it's been a blast.
So 72 Datsun 521. It's an FJ20, Nissan FJ20, came out of the early 80s Skylines, or the DS30s, I believe, or the Gazelles, like I think they called them in Australia. Pretty popular, I guess, back in the early 80s. I learned about them about 4 or 5 years ago, and I happened to come across one from a guy locally in LA, and so I purchased it, and basically we shoehorned it in there and we got the fit. It is a turbo motor, but it's I got it naturally aspirated. This one dyno's about 150 at the rear wheels, and then the nitrous kit that I put on is jetted for 100 shot. So once just finish up a few things and we'll go ahead and dyno it. Hopefully, you know, hopefully I'll be anywhere between 240 and 260 on the bottle. I've always loved the 521 truck. I like the truck mainly because it's still all metal. In my eyes, at least, when you look at the truck with the hood down and stuff, it has some slight similarities of a Datsun 510, which is kind of why I like the truck so much. I thought about like kind of doing a Pro Street look on it, maybe mini tubbing it, and then doing different wheels, bring it all in, and kind of go maybe at just a slight different look. And then I thought, well, maybe going turbo, and just go ahead and do that. Although I love the sound of the old, you know, the side draft sound, which is why I never done it yet. It just sounds good, you know.
Best of all worlds.
Yep, absolutely.
Fuel injection, you have the ability to boost it if you wanted to. And,
yes, absolutely. I mean, this motor is the one to do all that with, you know. Although they're pricey now, it's hard to get parts, so most people that know about the FJ knows that it's really nothing American anymore, unless I find, you know, guys that just happen to have spare parts. But you got to source everything now to New Zealand, Japan, mainly Australia. There's not much other places. Yeah, that's about it. I don't even think Singapore you can get anything, so it's just those 3 areas. Next year, maybe not bring the truck, but I'm hoping I'll have my little 510 wagon done, and then maybe I'll see if it's if days off and stuff permit. Maybe I'll think about coming up and maybe see if I can get a few other guys to come. Maybe bring the wags or caravan.
Dude, really, thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.